Hello, everyone. How you doing? Good to see you here. Here we are, and we are live today. I want to remind you that I am live on YouTube, on Twitch, on Facebook, and on Twitter. You can check me out any platform that you like the best. I'll be here every week dropping some knowledge about photography and sharing a little bit about life as a photographer in Tokyo, Japan. Glad to see you all here. Today, I've got a lot I want to share with you. And as always, I'm going to start with something that happened here in Tokyo that was super cool. So, I was going to do a scout early one morning here in Tokyo before a job. I was looking for a great location, and I'm walking around Tokyo super early in the morning, and I came on this sudden ceremony out the blue. Now, I'm scouting early in the morning. I'm going to say it was around like 7:30. I can't tell you the exact time. I just know it was early before most people are up and about. So, I'm going to scout at this place that I think is really beautiful. The place is a shrine. This is Jingu Shrine, and it's a beautiful, beautiful place. This is a torii gate that's at the front, and it was just redone. So this is brand new. So here's a very interesting fact: the gate on the left and the right and left part of the gate, those are made from trees, and they had to go to Nara, which is a location by Kyoto, to find these two trees. And one is 260 years old, the other one is 280 years old. Brand new torii gate. So if you come to Japan now, you'll see this gate to take you into this amazing shrine, Miji Jingu Shrine. It is fantastic. So I'm scouting. It's early in the morning. As you see, people are up leaving the shrine. So I'm going there to look and find what's a great location, possibly to shoot. So as I walk in, and this is early, I see something that's about to happen. I'm like, wow, what are all these people doing here so early in the morning? And I don't know what's going on. I just happen to walk into the shrine and I see this about to happen. People are sweeping up, they're making it right just for whatever's about to happen. So I decide to sit down and see what in the world is going to happen as everybody else is taking their seats. I'm curious what's going on. I see these guys come out in their ceremonial kimonos, and they look very official. They take a seat and they're all waiting for something to happen. So everybody knows what's going on but me. Here I am, the expat in town, not sure what's happening, but people in Japan absolutely knew, and they were ready and waiting. So I take my seat, and sure enough, a guy comes in and he has the blocks, the same blocks they use to start every summer festival. And I love the sound of these blocks. You hear it before the door opens, and this guy comes in, and you see something special is about to happen. And then in the next second, I know, oh, this is about sumo. It's some kind of ceremony for sumo. It's called Yokozuna. This is for the grand champion. This is the ceremony they have for the champion of sumo wrestling. And I just happened to see it. And to see this happen live was just so amazing. I'm there and I'm watching as he comes in. I'm watching also to see how beautiful each of these sumo wrestlers are dressed. They're not just wearing the normal attire, they all have on like some type of beautiful ceremonial dress for the occasion. And this guy is the grand champion. You can tell right away by the way he's dressed. And if you're keeping up on at that time, seeing who the champion was, you knew him right away. So I never seen this ceremony before, but he's sitting there and it's all this pomp and circumstance that goes around. And what I found out is that there's also a dance that goes along, and only the grand champion does this dance. This is the Doyo Iri, which is a ritual dance that only the grand champion does. I'm probably slaughtering the name, but this is the dance that only the grand champion does. And for the entire year that he is the grand champion, he does it at the beginning of every tournament as well. But this is the first time he's doing it at this ceremony. And I want to show you this dance. It's pretty beautiful to see in person. So here he is beginning this ritual of this dance, and you see it all come together. It's just so beautiful to see as he goes through all of these steps and goes through the process of doing this ritual dance. It's beautiful to see. And of course, I had my cameras with me. I wasn't planning on doing a shoot, but because I'm aware of anything and everything that just happens, the serendipity of the moment all comes together. I do want to remind you that today I'll be answering any questions that you have at the very end. So make sure you stay along and check it out. You're free to ask any questions. After this, I'll be going through a lesson about photography as well. But it's great to always have your camera with you to capture things that happen that you are not aware of. And if you live in Japan, there's always something happening. And sometimes it's not announced, it just happens. So I always have my camera with me for these amazing rituals that happen, like this dance, to catch the grand champion as he's doing this dance for the very first time. And he does it as long as he's champion. This ring that they dance in is called the doyo. This is where you see them, where they do the wrestling events. For each event, it's in this round circle, and that's called the doyo, the ring. And they're doing that same dance here in this ceremony for the very first time in Miji Jingu Shrine. Super cool to see. Now, all of them come through as well, and who have won like maybe second, third prize, throughout the year. But the grand champion, he's the one who gets all of that special dance. And to see them come in and leave is so incredible. I like shooting everything that happens when I see something like this. And even after the ceremony was over, I stuck around to see them as they packed up and left. Even as they went and got on the bus and was waving goodbye, I watched the entire thing. So now I want to catch every single ceremony I can. I go and I check on the website to find out when it is, because I want to see it and photograph it from now on. And now that we're over COVID, it's back again. So hopefully I'll see the next time it happens. If you come to Japan, definitely go and watch for everything. Keep your camera on you all the time, because there's always something special happening in Japan when you go to these ceremonies. And it's just so fantastic to see. This was the sudden ceremony that just happened, and I just happened to catch it and be at the right place at the right time. Now, please, if you are on the YouTube or anywhere else you're checking, subscribe so you can get a notification to see all of these live sessions that we're going to do every single week. So today I want to go into a common struggle that a lot of photographers have. I call it a common mistake that many photographers have. I know before I was aware, I was also making this mistake. And maybe you are too. I want to make sure that from now on, you don't make that mistake when you are taking pictures. I think about this all the time, because as photographers, we are always going out and shooting, sometimes just for fun or for an assignment. But this one little tweak can make a big difference in your photography. Let's dive into today's topic, today's lesson. For those who are brand new today, I'm Matthew Jordan Smith. I'm a professional photographer. I've been shooting for over 37 years. I'm also a Nikon ambassador. I'm based in Tokyo, but work between Tokyo, New York, and LA, doing what I love. And I love sharing everything I know as well. So today's topic, what are we going to discuss today? Today is all about common mistakes. All this month, I've been talking about mistakes that photographers make. And today, being the last week in June, I want to talk about this common problem: failing to identify a hero in your pictures. You're probably wondering, Matthew, what do you mean a hero? Let's take a look at this picture. Here we are. It's a crowded area in Japan, and your eye goes everywhere. Now, this applies to everything. This is a great example to show you. There's no hero, there's nothing, one thing that stands out in this picture. And very often you see people doing this, just taking a picture randomly. And how does it make you stand out? What's the theme? Where does your eye go? There's nowhere in particular that your eye goes. Your eye is going everywhere because there is no hero in this picture. Here's another example. It's busy. There's so much going on. Your eye can't go anywhere, and you go everywhere. You see this a lot. When we all start taking pictures, we're just trying to learn all the tech about photography and cameras and lenses and having different lenses. We all go there. But once you get past that, it's about perfecting your craft as a photographer. Sip my green tea for a second there. Now let's go and look at different ways of making your hero in a photograph. So here, same situation, same area, but now I'm trying to find one person and make that person stand out. So now, clearly, he is the hero or the focus of the image. For every successful picture that's out there is a hero in the picture or a main theme or main subject in the picture. And then everyone around is like the supporting actor. But the hero, like the hero of a movie, is the one that stands out. And then you have the supporting cast all around. And they help make the picture come to life too. But there's one hero. Every successful picture needs a hero. But the cool thing about it is that you can decide what the hero is, and you can make it in any way you want. I love shooting in this one area in Tokyo, and it's a very busy area. So I want to find my hero. So I go out there all the time. I try to pick one person and make that one person stand out. So I use my shutter speed to do this. I make everyone else stay busy and they become a blur. But I focus on that one person that is still in the moment. This is one way of making a hero in a very busy area. Now, I perfected this technique a lot, but there are other ways to do this as well. You can do it by changing your angle and finding one person that stands out. Here, the guy in the middle, or almost toward the middle, is the hero. I've cut off the heads of other people. I'm at a very low angle, but he stands out. You decide who's the hero in your picture. That's the one thing that you have total control over. AI cannot do this for you. This is you making a choice on what is the hero in your picture. You decide how to do it and how to make your pictures stand out. You can also do it with your f-stop. This is another very busy area. I shot this in the fall. And I'm using a very narrow depth of field. I'm shooting like wide open on this image to make the subject here stand out, and everyone else is out of focus. So f-stop wise, I'm shooting at f2. So super shallow depth of field. Before I was using, my angle. I can use a f-stop. I can use shutter speed. You find out how to make your picture stand out. And once you learn all the tech, aperture, shutter speed, ISO, you use all those three components, I call them the three pillars of photography, to make your subject stand out and become the hero. It works with everything, even with landscapes or cars or people, whatever. Here I'm panning and finding one car to make that car stand out. Here's a typical taxi in Tokyo, but there are a lot of other cars all around. So here I'm again shooting at a very slow shutter speed, and I'm panning my camera with my lens, my Nikon Z9 at the time, to get this picture where it makes the car stand out, even though there are tons of cars around. Panning, f-stop, shutter speed, ISO, all these things help you make your picture stand out, and you decide who's the hero anywhere you go. Here's another situation where I'm using my shutter speed to make everything blurry except for my main subject. A lot of fun to do. Yes, I do need a tripod for this. So I'm thinking about this before I go out to shoot. And I've done this all over the world. Here we are in Bali doing the same thing, making one person stand still while everything else moves around to find who's the hero in this busy situation. Here we are in Tokyo again during the cherry blossom season, where there are tons of people going to Ueno Park to see the cherry blossoms. And I make one person stand out by making her stand totally still, using my shutter speed to slow things down and make them a blur as they go by. Same thing here in London. So I've done the same technique all over the world for many different clients, and people seem to love it. It's a way to make you stand out as a photographer as well by having this control of your images and you deciding who's the hero. Here, I'm dropping down with my angle a little lower and shooting through people as they move in and out and around her to make her stand out. Plus, I put her in a red outfit to really make her stand out in this crowd where people are dressed in more neutral colors. You have the power to decide who and what is the hero in your pictures. Have fun doing this. It can work anywhere in the world. Here we are in LA doing the same thing. So it doesn't matter where you are, what you're shooting, you have control of your pictures and who or what will be the hero in your picture. You just have to find out who's the hero. Here we are in Las Vegas doing the same thing. You decide who's the hero in your picture. But remember this, every successful picture in the world has a hero, and the photographer decides who's the hero in the picture. I love that. All the focus goes right away to the main theme or the main person, or what I call the hero. Everyone else is the supporting cast around that picture. Now, the average person doesn't know any of this. All they know is, wow, I love that picture. How'd you do that? You now know the secret. Make your subjects the hero of your picture. Now, you do need to know all the basics: aperture, shutter speed, ISO. And you are taking control over all these elements. So you're shooting on manual versus shooting in aperture priority or shutter priority or program mode where the camera's doing everything for you. This is a step beyond that. I think we all need to know our gear for sure to be masters of photography. I love sharing everything I can to help you become a better photographer. It starts with knowing, of course, all the basics. It doesn't matter where we go in terms of AI or as cameras evolve and get smarter and better. It's still going to be up to you to make your pictures stand out if you want to be a professional photographer and have that little bit of a fingerprint on your image. You know, everybody in the world has a different fingerprint. What's yours? How will you stand out so people know what they're going to get when they hire you or commission you to take pictures? Well, let's go into that even more. I love having control over my light. That's another level. And I love sharing everything I know about photography and lighting. So I have a course. It's called Photography Lighting Course. This course is an A to Z blueprint to teach you all about photography lighting. Now, I do go into things that I talked about today through all of these online modules, beginning with the basics, the triangle, aperture, shutter speed, priority, all the stuff you need. Aperture, shutter speed, ISO. You need those three elements for sure to have control. But I teach you all of that in this course. There are 7 modules in this course where I teach you all about photography and lighting. But I also do an online training as well that happens for all my students. We do it once a week. It's a 1-hour session of me looking at your pictures, giving you assignments, having you do the assignments, and then we go over this together. This is how you really learn in this course. It's online, but it's also me being right beside you every single week to take you through aspects of photography lighting. Now, the weekly live sessions happen every week, and I'm going through all types of things. As light changes, as gear changes, and it's always changing, I give you updates on all the stuff that happens all the time. And then I give you assignments around it because that's how you grow and learn as a photographer. That's how you grow in every single thing. You've got to exercise your muscle, and this is your visual muscle. It's one thing to learn online, to go to the online modules. That's one thing. But having it live every week where I can meet you in person, you can see me, I can see you, I can hear your question live and answer it live. That's kind of cool. That's what this course is all about. You growing and getting to where you want to be as a photographer and learning about lighting. Enough of me talking. This is what my students say about this course.
I've been involved with some other Facebook groups, and kind of you don't get as much interaction. But with this one, you get a lot of feedback. So it's great. Whenever I've had plenty of questions already, and everyone's just been so friendly and willing to jump in and help, and everyone is truly willing to help. And the other great thing is the modules that you've created. I've already gone through them multiple times, and I keep going back and referring to the modules. So, whenever I have a photo shoot or anything coming up, it's great to kind of have that to refer back to.
I love having this course and meeting all of these students live. There's nothing better than being able to take your questions live and see you grow step by step all along the way. There are people in the PLC, photography lighting course, from all over the world, all coming together every single week, asking questions, seeing you grow, getting assignments, watching you grow through the assignments. Now, you have two ways to join this course. There's two options to join: a one-time payment, or you can break it up in 12 installments. Either way, you are a part of the PLC family, and you have access to come in and learn every single week in the live session and also in our private Facebook group. Either way, you are a part of this course. And I love seeing people grow and grow as photographers. Super simple. You find out what way is best for you, which option is best for you to join, but come on in and join. It's risk free for you. There is a 30-day guarantee because I know this works for you, and I made it free and simple for you to join by just going in, having 30 days to come in and kick the tires and make sure it's right for you. This course is all about you becoming a better photographer, learning how to take amazing pictures, learning how to control your lighting, control your craft, and improve your skills as a photographer. I love sharing this like I'm doing even right now live every single week, coming in here and giving you little tidbits here and hopefully helping you along your journey. You are now free to ask me any questions that you like about anything you have seen today. I want to say thank you also to number one, to everyone who is here. Thanks for showing up, letting me talk about what I love and share the joy of photography and share a little bit about my life here in Tokyo. It's absolutely fantastic to do what you love every day. So, what do you love? What are your fears about growing as a photographer? You scared to, like, try to go out on your own? Is it a hobby you want to be, your career? It can be, but you can't do it on your own. Well, maybe you can. It just takes you a lot longer on your own. So I do get a lot of questions all the time. And one in relation to my course is, okay, Matthew, I heard about the weekly live sessions that you have every single week. Do they happen at the same time every week? No, they don't. I change it around so people around the world can all get a chance to come in live and make sure they can see it. So thank you for the words of wisdom. Ted, thank you so much for coming in. Thank you all for letting me share what I love. Finding your hero as a photographer, that was our theme today, is a big deal. It can make you stand out as a photographer. There are a lot of people making a living as a photographer. It's a very competitive field. Absolutely. But everybody has their own fingerprint, which means that you have a way to stand out as a photographer. People ask about gear all the time in my course. What lights do I need? What gear do I need? And I get all that. We all want to know about gear. But you don't need a lot of gear to be my course or to be a photographer. It's best to learn how to use what you have. When you join my course, I teach you with what you have, and hopefully you grow little by little. So thanks for coming in. I'm glad you guys are here. No matter when you join, you can come in. You can see it again on my YouTube channel. Even after you've seen this, you can go back and see it at any time. Keep getting more knowledge. So whenever you come in, it's totally cool. I'm glad you caught this, even by accident. This is so cool to see. I'm live every week on YouTube, on Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter. So come on in whenever you can and check us all out. Is there anything? Oh, wow. Can you use old cameras? Absolutely. So I have a lot of I shoot Nikon cameras now, but I have a lot of old cameras as well. Um, I actually have old film cameras. I still shoot film sometimes as well. I love shooting film. Of course, I'm using the Z9 and the Z8 now by Nikon. Those are my cameras of choice right now. But I shot every camera under the sun out there, and I still have my film cameras, and I still shoot those as well. So whatever gear you have, is totally cool to come on in and be a part of PLC, learn how to grow. Doesn't matter if you have like a low-end camera or a high-end camera. To be honest, it doesn't matter when you are first beginning. And even people think today that you have to have the best, latest, greatest camera. And because you don't, you can't do certain things. That's just not true. You can have the most basic camera in the world and do very well as a photographer. Thank you for asking that question also, because people do think that it's about the gear. I get that very often. Somebody will say, "Oh, well, what camera do you use?" It's not about the camera. It's like, no, if you go to a great restaurant, you have amazing food. Do you ask what the cook used to, what tools or what pots and pans they use to make your meal? It's not about the pots and pans for that great meal. And it's not about the camera to take great pictures. Yes, a great camera can help you take better pictures for sure, but it's the person behind the camera that makes the image, that decides who the hero is in the picture, who decides, what angle you're going to shoot, that what point of view, all those things. That's totally up to you. So yeah, it's the best thing in the world. Somebody says, "I'm not going to shoot film again." I get it. It's not easy shooting film. However, it's really beautiful when you see, and if you're printing images and you're seeing film, like I shoot film for my artwork. For my commission work, I'm shooting digital. Like I shot yesterday for Shiseido, and I'm shooting a campaign. I'm shooting for the next week as well, and I'll be shooting digital for that assignment. Shot yesterday, I'll be shooting it next week as well for Shiseido, shooting digital for that client. But for my artwork, which is shot for me, I shoot film. And I love that stuff. You know, you find your poison, find out what you like doing. It's your photography. Find out what works for you, your camera, your art. You make it your own. It's the best thing in the world. Find out what you love and how you want to show that work and stand out as a photographer. That's what I teach in my course. It's a lighting course, but I teach you way more than just about lighting, because photography is way more than just about lighting. Love that. Love having you guys ask these questions as well. Feel free to come in every single week. I'll be back here every week dropping some knowledge for you to become a better photographer. Please subscribe to the channel. I'm again on Facebook, on Twitter, on Twitch, and on YouTube. Please subscribe to the channel so you can get those notifications when we go live. Thank you for your time and letting me share just a little bit more about the joy of photography. Again, I'm photographer Matthew Jordan Smith. I love this and love being here. Love seeing you guys come in, ask questions live. It's the best thing in the world. Thank you so much. Glad you are here. Even by accident, doesn't matter. As long as you get your way here, it's totally cool. Thank you, thank you, thank you, everyone. I'll be back next week with more stories around Japan and more stories about photography and how you can become a better photographer. Until next week, I'll see you all soon. Bye, everyone. That's good tea.